We seek refuge in God from the accursed Satan. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, may the peace and blessings of God be upon Muhammad and his blessed family. Welcome, dear brothers and dear sisters. In this new edition, a new class of emotional intelligence, class number 42. Today we are going to talk about a rather important matter. We are discussing emotional intelligence. How to learn to control ourselves and emotionally manage others. Today we are going to start a series where we will talk about the circle of life. What is the emotional circle of life? And how is the biological emotional circle of life? And how through the control of the biological circle of life we can come to control the emotions and feelings of a person. Allow me to tell a real joke. A woman who was always fighting with her husband. They were about to separate. Then the woman went to the office of a psychologist. Mr. Psychologist, please come in. Why is it that I am always fighting with my husband and we never reach a resolution? Never, never, never. Not even for a day have we had a positive result. Then that wise psychologist asked her, not all psychologists are wise. Many psychologists today, unfortunately, are giving advice that goes against the norms of God. But this time it was a believing Muslim psychologist, a sheikh. He was a Sheikh Qomi. So then, she asked the sheikh how she was going to fix her family problem. So did that sheikh respond to the girl, to the woman, about when and how the fights start? A wise question. So she thought for a moment and said, the truth is that always around noon or in the afternoon, just when he arrives home, I start talking to him. Problems and fights begin. A horrible argument explodes, and this is souring our life to the point that we no longer love each other. We don't want to be together for even a moment. So, what advice did this chef give to the girl? Look, starting today, when your husband comes home from work, he arrives at the house, has tea, but in a special way, where you are taking tea, and each time you take a sip of tea, you hold it in your mouth. So, the mouth full of tea, how many minutes or 5 minutes? Thus taking tea in 20 minutes. Every time, 5 minutes, his mouth is full of tea. Very well. So from that day on, she arrived home, saying, well, starting tomorrow, we are going to get started. So, the next day, the tired man arrived home, and when she saw her husband, she went to greet him. The man greeted her. Hello, how are you, love? And she replied. And the man said, well, go ahead. So she was having tea for about 15 minutes. Very well. The man went to the bathroom, got himself ready. We can say, washed his face, and had something to drink. Then, the next day passed, like 7 days, but a great miracle happened that they never had arguments more. Interesting, right? So the girl went to the mosque again, asking the sheikh for advice, which was very wise. Why have all the fights and problems been resolved this way by themselves, without dialogue, without the intervention of others? I don't know what has happened. Then the sheikh said, look, the problem and the solution are neither in tea nor in dialogue. So what are they in? Because she was saying that the tea you recommended is a blessed tea, it truly solves all problems. And the chef said, no, this is not blessed. So how and in what way has it solved the problem? Maybe through a spell. The chef said, none of that, that's false. How have you solved all my problems? You've only told me to drink tea filling my mouth, and that's it. The problem is solved. The sheikh said, the solution is here. Sister, haven't you learned the circle of emotions? And what did she say? You have never participated in Sheikh's emotional intelligence class. She said, no, I remain an ignorant woman. So he recommended that she go to partial classes. Well, as a joke. But the truth is that every time her husband returned home, the man within the emotional circle was tired, fatigued, and worried about what had happened at work. Then the sentimental negativity of thought and of the man's body was negative in 3 points. The tired man, fatigued with his body, head, thoughts, and also emotionally was worried about what had happened at work. So within that circle, it was at the most negative point possible. At that moment, she was coming to complain to the man. The man arrived home and the woman said, "We don't have any bread. We should go visit your mom who you called and said is sick, and you didn't know that you need to buy meat today." And the man would get angry because he would come home and find a woman who is complaining, exhausting the man's patience. Then the man said, "Shut up, stupid. Now is not the time to argue. I'm tired. Don't bother me so much. Don't squeeze me. Let me breathe for a moment. When I get home, you have turned the house into a hell. I can't stand you anymore. Just go to your dad's house. I don't want you here. Better not be such and such," and so on. And so it always goes. Arguments. Then the sheikh explained to her, "For a week, you kept your mouth shut, which means that at the wrong moment, you did not open your mouth." And the man was able to get home, rest for a while, and restart his operating system again. Then the man was able to understand you better, and you have given him enough time to recover his negative energy. He will come down and then return to a circle of possibility. So from there you started talking to him. Interesting, brothers, how a human being has a circle. In this circle, there are moments when we have the body, whether positive or negative. There are moments when we have positive or negative feelings. And there are moments when we have positive or negative thoughts. So 3 wima, each one can be positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. If all 3 are negative, this moment is the least opportune time, meaning it is the most inappropriate time to talk or communicate. Then you fail. You can never manage a person. For example, you want to talk to your child when he is tired, upset, has failed, and is emotionally unwell, and now is the moment you want to give advice. He never accepts it and comes to argue with you. Why? Because emotionally it is negative. Because the thought is negative, the body may be fatigued. Parents must know that in moments of negativity, they cannot talk to their children. So what do? We let our children... No, wait. Don't jump to conclusions. In this class, let the teacher speak patiently, calmly. Wait over there. Now, listen to the professor for a while and then come to criticize. Very well, that's how it is. Well, since we are already human beings, we are affected. We are influenced by emotions, thoughts, and bodily states, which is a hormonal state, and this hormonal state affects our emotions. For example, a woman is on her menstrual period, a woman is pregnant. The man must consider this state, because many times this hormonal state of a pregnant woman will lead her to a more sensitive state. The woman is going to be more sensitive. She is not a bad woman. She is your wife, she is your lover, she is your love. But you must understand that she is in a more sensitive emotional state. So, in order to communicate with her, you must first learn to transform a negative state into a positive one. How to do it? In the next class, we will talk about it. May God bless you. We look forward to your comments. And please share that talk. Let's see. Many people have seen it, so we will continue. A big hug. Peace be upon you.